Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're watching this, it means you're a subscriber. It means you're one of the coolest motherfuckers to ever live. Some other people in the past did some cool shit, but nothing like this. So we're getting this bonus content. No one else can see this. Just you, because you're that fucking special. Of course, you know the show, interactive video show, or you can be part of it. I send you the links if you're a subscriber. You can join us on the StreamYard sessions. Where we record the show, you can be in the chat room, the private chat, you can be on audio, you can be on video, participate, ask questions, all that good shit. If you want to know more about us, ShellySJSmokeout.com. Links to all the free podcasts are there, of course. Link to my website, link to Shelly's website, so you can know more about us. If you're like, hey, I know that one person, but I don't know that other person. We're like, hey, I don't know either one of these people. You can go find out more about us and how awesome we are. And there's the Patreon to subscribe if you're never a subscriber. But, just in case if someone else is watching, maybe we clip this out or something. I don't know. There it is. Just so you know. Anyway, Shelly, I see the infamous pool table behind you. I have to ask, before we get into anything else, has there been recent shenanigans on the pool table?
Sadly, no. My life has been so hectic. You see this game that's like queued up right here? It's been queued up like that for a month.
That's a shame. I
It
feel like
is.
now, like for the rest of our lives, whenever we interact and I speak to you, at some point I'm going to have to ask you if you've recently been banged on a pool table.
And it should happen all the time, weekly. Weekly, it should be happening. But, like yesterday, I thought I was going to have some fun pool table time, but you know what ended up happening? I got sun drunk. I went out.
Wow.
Let me tell you. First of all, let me take a hit of this. I'm going to tell you how I got sun drunk yesterday. It was pathetic.
If you're a subscriber, you're watching, this is the part where you smoke with us. It's the theme of the show. If you were like doing this live or whatever, if we were doing this live, you could be with us and chilling with us.
Okay, so I moved to my house about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And when I first moved here, when I first moved here, the pandemic was still going on, and it was kind of at the tail end of things being totally shut down, and like things were starting to slowly but surely come back. So I remember when they finally opened outdoor seating for dining. Metal Jesus and I went to this really cute German pub that's really cool. I mean, Metal Jesus loves beer, and so we go to a lot of cool places that are like breweries and things like that. So it was one of those pubs that have like the brewery right there too. So even though I'm not into beer, I think it's super cool because, side note, beer and wine have a lot in common as far as like the process of making them and stuff like that. So I think it's really interesting. So the place was cute. They have stuff for me to eat, and I say that because I eat fish, but I don't eat any other meat. So good food, good prices, good wine, whatever. So I feel about a year or so ago. I remember it was in the summer. It was really hot, and I ordered from there, which I do all the time. And in my salad, there was what it looked like was the tip of like a ketchup bottle or something. So when I bit into my salad, I was like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Because I'm always freaked out about finding something, specifically a hair in my food. So I'm like, "What is this?" I go, "This looks like the tip of like a bottle, a plastic bottle." So it took me a while to like get over that. And then another time we went, and then we like to go there too because they let Minnie go inside. Where most restaurants you have to sit outside if you have the dog, but they let us come in with her. So a good spot for us. And there's a spot down the street from it that's like my real favorite, but it's always so busy that when we put our name at the table, we always end up walking to the other place and just going there because there's always room. So we go there after the salad incident, and every time after that, terrible service. Terrible. Terrible, terrible service. So much so that we're like, I'd started being a joke. I'm like, hey, you want to go to so and so and get treated like shit today? Okay, let's go. You know, you just have to know ahead of time what you're going to order at once. As soon as they come to your table, these are the drinks I want, these are the appetizers I want, this is the food I want. Like, you just have to do it that way. And then when they bring your food, if you're not done with your drink, but you know you want another one, you better order it right there before they go. And your water, you better get that water. So I kind of went about it like, at least I know what I'm getting myself into now, so it's not like whatever. So yesterday morning when I woke up, I was getting my vampire radio show put together, and I saw on Instagram, no, sorry, Twitter, that one of the accounts I follow that talks about all the places around my neighborhood, they said that Sunday was their last day of business. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was so sad, even though they've been crap for like a year, right? Even though, like, because the place is cute, they let Minnie come in. You just got to know the deal. That's it. So I tell, and I have to do my show and everything. So it was all last minute. So I told Metal Jesus, like, hey, we have to go. Let's just go today because I don't, like, let's just go. Like, I don't want to go tomorrow. Let's go today. So we pack up, we go. I am so hungry at this point. So I'm like, okay, as soon as we get there, we know what we got to do. We got to get treated like shit for the last time. Oh, that's what I told him. I said, hey, you want to get treated like shit one more time? And he was like, what? And that's when I told him that they're closing. Stoner Jesus, we sat at a table that we normally sit at, and I wanted to sit there for, you know, nostalgic reasons. It's the last time we're going to do this. And it is in the area where the bar is, was considered like the cocktail area, you know. It took us 30 minutes to get our menu. And in that 30 minutes, I tried chasing the waitress down, but she kept getting away from me. I tried to locate the hostess. She was nowhere to be found. I went up to the bartender. Mind you, we're in the cocktail bar area, so we're kind of his section. Like, he's not supposed to come wait on us or anything, and there is a waitress for that, but I mean, we're in his section. I go up to him and I was like, hi, when you get a chance, because he was doing a drink, I said, when you get a chance, can I please just get a couple menus from you? This is how he looks up to me. It's gonna be a while. Why don't you go find the hostess? And I was like, all right. So the hostess finally came, and mind you, at that point, the place is now filled. And I told Metal Jesus, I said, maybe this is a good sign. If there's too many people here, they have to eventually come out. Like, they have to eventually come out. And so the place is filling up. The waiting area to get seated, because it says see the host first, is filled. And so the girl comes. I go, oh my God, can I please just get a couple of menus? Sure, how many? There you go. And then finally, what it seemed like was there was two people in the whole joint that actually gave a shit that it was their last weekend and doing their job, while everyone else would just disappear into the kitchen the whole time.
They're done.
So not only did I go before, and I said, you know what, this place deserves to get shut down. And then the guys next to us, there's a table of dudes. One of the guy goes, I guess they stopped paying the AC in here too. It was hot. And it was like 90 something degrees yesterday, as it is today. So we leave, we go to the mall, which is walking distance. It's hot in there too. And so I'm just trying to sober up so that we can go home, so one of us can drive. It's freaking hot. And then finally, when we get home, I was so zapped. There was nothing that I could do.
No pool table banging.
No pool table banging. And I said when we were at the place and I got my buzz on, I was like, Metal Jesus, you're going to give it to me tonight. You're going to give it to me, and you're going to give it to me good. He was like, yeah, baby. I was like, you're going to give it to me real good. And so it was this whole setup. It was supposed to happen.
You should go to that restaurant's Yelp page and put that story in the comments. Last day ruined my pool table banging.
You cockblocked me. You cockblocked my experience. You cockblocked me ordering more drinks and really getting drunk, because when I ordered my second drink, Metal Jesus is like, oh, you want another drink? This is like ready to go. And I was like, yes, I want to get drunk. Like, this is their last time here. And I know it is what it is, but we knew they're going to treat us like shit. But then after she finally brought my second one, I was over it by that point too. And it was probably better because as sun drunk as I got, I think if I would have gotten, I was like maybe half a glass of wine from being drunk because I ordered their like big, extra big craft. So, I probably had about 3.5 glasses of wine the whole time we were there, which was a long time. But I wasn't really drunk yet. I was just very, very tipsy. So it was a blessing in disguise, I think, because I think if I would have gotten drunk, like how I wanted to party, I don't think I would have had a good night last night. Instead of just sleeping, like we came home, we ate dinner, we slept, and that was just it. Like it was just too much. And today, all I had planned today is clean the house, work out, hang out with you. So maybe today's the day we get some pool table action. I got this new pirate backdrop that I'm working on over here.
Nice.
So we got to do it pirate style.
There you go. I don't know if you can leave pictures on Yelp reviews or whatever, Google reviews. You should just leave a picture of the unused pool table. You see, this is the game that was ready. I was ready to go. But you motherfuckers,
And not only that, it's not like we're these, like, we just met and we're going to hook up and, oh, it didn't happen. Like, all we have is pool table time, okay? Like, we've been together for a really long time. We need things like the pool table to keep it alive. Alive. You know what I'm saying? So we're not getting any younger. So it's very important that in my head, when I make these dates to get banged on the pool table, I get banged on the dang pool table.
It's not too much to ask, I don't think.
It's not. I'm in a committed relationship, so I'm not being shady or anything. It's all I got.
You have a pool table. What else are you gonna do with it? You're just gonna play fucking pool with it? That shit gets old quick.
That's for a different release. This is for another. It's multi-purpose.
Yes.
Release. You see.
I find myself wondering about stains on the felt. That, like, how easy is that to remove? I gotta think it's probably a fucking nightmare. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, we haven't come to that problem yet.
Like the
Hopefully
black.
we don't.
See, is that black felt?
It's black. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. That'll show up from a fucking mile away.
It will. Even when you clean it, it'll like forever be there. You know what though? I wonder. I have two cleaners. I have a cleaner to clean carpet and rugs, and then I have a cleaner machine that's just for like area rugs and stuff, so not for like gnarly carpet. In fact, when you use it on gnarly carpet, it gets messed up. So I wonder if that's and then one of them has a handheld. So I wonder if that's something that would work on here, or if it moves it up. I don't know.
I think you could do some sort of. You might be the first person to ever do some sort of video on that subject. I'm getting on Google right now to see if I can find a video.
There's a TikTok for you. Oh, and real quick, while you're looking that up, just to talk while you're doing that, all I wanted was a damn pretzel because, like I said, it was the German place. And then the first thing I said, okay, well, I told my drink order, and I said, and then we're gonna start with a pretzel. Oh, we're out of pretzels. So that was the stinger right there, the last sting.
So there's the first thing that comes to my Google when you put cleaning cum off of a pool table. Answers.com. How do you clean sperm off a pool table felt from November 2022? The best answer: you don't. Let it sit there in all its glories for all others to see.
No.
That's the top answer and the only answer. How do you get our sperm stains permanent? Dried semen stains can be permanent on clothes and fabric if washed with anything other than cold water. Higher temperatures are likely to coagulate protein found in semen, which leads to the stain setting into the fabric and potentially causing a permanent stain. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we had this conversation because I would have done that, and then that's what would have happened. But it hasn't happened. Like, here's the thing. You know, my sister lives with us. My friends come over. I'm not the only one that uses the pool table. And unless they come across this material, they don't know. Maybe they assume, I don't know. But
If they ask, you should have like an excuse ready, like, oh, it was, you know, it was some, I don't know, we spilled some shampoo.
but I guess what my point is like maybe that's why subconsciously we haven't had that problem because we know we got to be careful. We've never discussed it or it's never went in the time he's like, oh, I can't get on the pool table. We just kind of naturally are in positions to where that won't be a problem. But it's always good to be aware.
The videos that come up under cleaning come off a pool table. First one, cleaning lady masturbates on the pool table. There is a Cosmopolitan video from 2021, semen stain, how to clean sex stains. I don't think there's an exact tutorial on that you could do. Like, I think that would be a viral video.
I think I should film it for the freaking Smokeout, the Patreon.
That's right.
We'll make it free, and it's like, go see it. And then maybe we can put a teaser on other social media platforms. It's like you don't have to download the app to watch it for free. You can watch it for free. You have to follow, I believe, to post, I think, like to comment maybe. But
Yeah.
to watch our content, people can still watch it on our Patreon.
Absolutely. And then if Danielle sees it, then it's like, well, that's where that stain came from. You said
And
it
you
was
know what? And you know what Danielle would say? Not surprised. Not surprised.
Is Danielle allowed to use the pool table for shenanigan purposes?
No.
Okay.
I don't want that energy on there. I bought it. What I do, I'm sharing it. This is mine.
She's only allowed to play pool.
This is mine.
Right.
It's mine and mine only. It's not Metal Jesus's. It's not Danielle's. It's not the household's. It's mine. I choose to put it in a general area so everyone can enjoy it. But only me and Metal Jesus are allowed to be sexy on it.
And if you don't like playing pool on jizz stains, go fucking play pool somewhere else. Fucking
Would you please stop putting that out there? There was no jizz stains. We are careful.
That's gonna be all paranoid, like, oh, hold on. Get a towel.
You see that white area right there? Okay, aim there. Well, what's that? Just aim there, and then you'll hit the ball in.
Yeah. Aim for a pocket, a corner, become corner.
Well, speaking of sexiness, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You want to hear something that just blew my effing mind? I don't know, like, okay. So long story, I haven't talked about this, but since we're doing this as bonus content, this is why I'm talking about it, because I have to get this off my chest. So, as you know, people listening, watching, and Stoner Jesus, I've talked about that I was able to go to the chiropractor in the last few months or whatever. And what was really cool about going to the chiropractor, besides the obvious, like getting work done, was the one that I chose to try out is literally, if you get the red light at the crosswalk, maybe 5-minute walk, maybe, if not less. So that helped me in my anxiety because Stoner Jesus, if you remember, a couple summers ago now, I think, that dude that killed that girl, and I had a confrontation with him before he killed her. So for our viewers, I was hanging out in my living room. Minnie, my dog, wouldn't stop barking, and I was like, God, what are you barking at? And I looked, and there was some dude creeping outside. He looked like he was going to break into one of our cars. So I went out there, being the ghetto ass that I am, and I don't recommend people really doing this if you're a female. I'm an idiot because bad things can happen. And I was like, hey, fool, get out of here. The ghetto came out. And so he looked at me and said, yeah, you fool, get the fuck out of here. And then he started to like come towards me, and I was ready. And then the cops rolled up. And then when they rolled up, he took off. And then about within the hour, he killed some chick. Now, the thing is, she wasn't random. She was somebody, he worked at a old folks home in the kitchen, and she worked at the old folks home in the, like, I don't know what position, but she worked there. It was a young gal. She was only 25 years old, God bless. And he went in there after I saw him, and the police didn't try to check him out. They just scurried him off. And the old folks home is about less than 10-minute walk from here, so not very far, especially if you're like running or something. And he stabbed the girl, this 25-year-old girl. He went in there and just started stabbing her, then took off, because while that was happening, I was walking Minnie with Metal Jesus. And then when we were about 2 streets over from our street to go down, there was all these helicopters and all this. And I was like, dude, what if it was that guy? And then we walked over to where the commotion was, and everything was all like blocked off. And then the cops were like, you can't come over here. And I told him what happened. He goes, yeah, it's him. He just killed this girl. And I was like, what? So ever since then, my anxiety's been high, because when I take Minnie for a walk, because I'm always afraid that, like, what if he gets out or sends somebody and they're like, that girl, like, whatever. You never know. So for the longest time, I wouldn't even walk Minnie by myself. And it sucked, because we both need it. And she wouldn't get walked sometimes. And so I've come a long way, but I still get, like, that anxiety. So what really helped, like, stop me from going to this chiropractor that was in walking distance for so long, and I allowed myself to be in pain, was, even though it was just a few minute walk right there, I was still scared to walk over there. I was like, what if I'm walking by myself, and like, whatever. So finally I did it. And then when I went there, I was like just observing, and I liked the vibe. I liked what the chiropractor dude had to say. They were blasting really cool music, which I wasn't expecting. And so it was a very positive experience. And he told me to get my back right, it was going to be like it was to take many times to do it, not just 1 or 2 times. So I was in for it. I don't know why. Let's see. I haven't done it for a little bit, so maybe you'll hear it. I'm going to try to crack my back right now and see if you can hear it. Heard that. Maybe not. It wasn't that loud. It was just like,
not really.
But it's right in this area right here. And so the part I have the worst pain is literally right here. I can get just below it by myself, and it feels good. So I don't understand why, after going to him for 2 months, he couldn't crack that part. And he'd always be like, oh, stiff as a rock, and then move on. And I'm like, and then one day he goes, I see that you're really hunching over when, you're laying there. And I was like, well, because I'm going to start my period, my boobs are very sensitive. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll go gentle. I said, no, you get in there. I have like 20 years of stuff there that needs a release. Please, just do it. And in my mind, I was thinking, I'm giving you the pass. If you've been gentle with me because you think I need to, no, please, I'm begging you. I watch YouTube and Instagram videos of people, it's their first time ever getting adjusted, and they're getting those spots. It's like, I need that, right? I want to be those people. They're like, oh God, my soul left my body. Like, I want to be those people. So he didn't get it done. And that was the last time I went. But I had to go there in my head of, if he can't crack me this time, that's my excuse, so I don't feel guilty. Why would I feel guilty, you ask? Because I felt he developed a crush on me. He twice did this to me. I'm so sorry, but I have to do this. And then he came and he went like this. Now, this part of my body had no problems. It's my back. So the fact that he's feeling my boob without really feeling my boob, I know what's going on there. not stupid, but
It's a weird
because of
fetish.
my what's that?
It's a weird fetish. Like extreme top part of boob by the armpit.
I think what it is, because you see how it moves, my
Yeah.
boob, or here, you see how it moves my boob.
Mm.
I think that was his way. Instead of going like this, he can be like, "Oh yeah, that's my vibe."
Got a
He
lot of
did it
tension there.
twice.
You have a lot of
Yeah,
tension with the boobs, it seems.
yeah, I guess so.
To rub that out.
And then there was a time where I was laying there and he left me in the room because I was getting some um, it's called stem. It's like where the little electricity goes to your muscles. And doing that was anxiety in itself because, long story short, when I was a girl, I got electrocuted. So I don't like the feeling of like little zaps. And so it would take me back to the day I got electrocuted. And it was a really deep, sad thing that goes back to my issues with my mom. So every time I'm going to the chiropractor, I'm freaked out that I'm going to get killed getting there. Then when I get there, I have to relive this trauma of my mom from the night I got electrocuted. And then he can't crack that top part of my dang back. And now he's saying, I'm so sorry, I have to do this. And so I was just like, oh my God. And so when I was laying there one day and the stem was on me, he was taking a long time to come back. And I said, I swear to God, I feel he's jacking off right now. I swear, I feel it. I feel he's jacking off. I just do. Because I was wearing this sports bra actually. And he goes, oh, bright pink sports bra. Nice. And I said, well, it's summer. Like, that's what I would do. I tried to, like, when he would throw these things out there, because he's like an old man river, and as I've talked about many times with you, I like old man rivers, but there's like a fine line. It's like, are you just being old man river, or are you like a predator? And so he was like, oh, and I was like, well, yeah, duh, it's summer. And he was like, oh, well, you got your pink sparkly cup, you got da da da, and I'm like, oh my God, this dude. Okay.
And he
And
was like,
so
excuse me for a few minutes. I have to go do something.
he couldn't handle the pink. He just couldn't handle the pink sparkle that I am. I just can't help it. So he finally comes in, and I just get this weird vibe, man. And sadly, it started affecting my mental health because it kept making me question, is this just Old Man River? Or am I excusing it because I have been conditioned at a young age to tolerate that behavior? It's inappropriate behavior. So I would battle with it. I would sit here and cry about it. It became a huge thing. And I would over here paying the dude to put me through all this. And so that's why I said, I'll give him one more crack at it. And he couldn't even do it. So that's when I was like, forget it. I'm not going to go back to him. And so I obsessively looked online to try to find dirt on him because to move on, I just want to know that I'm right. I don't like people, not just when I was growing up, but going back to wrestling. People, are you sure you remember that? Did that really happen? Did you hear Shelly Martinez? And they make me question, like, maybe. So now I live with this anxiety of, maybe I'm wrong. Like, I don't, like, that's a pretty harsh thing to like accuse somebody of. I don't want to be that person. So, like, what do I do here? So I went on Yelp and I saw all good reports except a few. And then they were from women and they were pretty much saying that he was creepy. And so one of them said that they used to work for him. And so that caught my eye. And I wrote her privately. And I wrote her privately back in July. And she didn't write me back. And so I was like, whatever. Now, another thing that I go through is because it's so close to my house, I pass that business every single day. So I live all of that trauma and anxiety every single time I pass that corner, which is almost every day. So I just need closure. I just need to know I'm right. So I went on Yelp because of the whole thing with that pub situation, and to see if like like I wanted to track when the bad service started happening. And then I was like, I'm gonna write that girl again. And I wrote her again, and she wrote me back
Nice.
many messages. And the one that hit me so hard was he would make inappropriate comments as well to the women staff, and he proceeded to make excuses so he could touch their butts and say, "Oh, I just have to adjust that right there." He would also tell me, "Oh, you need to let me adjust you," and would literally keep begging me to let him adjust me. And I kept saying no thanks. I didn't want him to touch me because I knew he would try to cop a fail. And so as soon as she said, "I have to adjust you right there," it triggered the, "I'm so sorry, I have to do this." And both times it was after I gotten all my treatment. So I don't know if he got turned on during the treatment or whatever, because there's this other thing. It's like a big massager almost that they just kind of put over your whole body and it just gets everything. And it really jiggles my butt. I'm not trying to be boastful. I have a pretty good butt. And so I go there in workout clothes because it just makes sense to me to be in comfortable workout clothes, and I can feel my butt jiggling. And that one time that he did it, the first time, I felt like, man, I feel he's looking at my butt. I feel he's just watching it. And then that was the first time. Let me just right there.
I will guarantee that when he disappeared for a few minutes at one time, he was definitely jerking off. I don't know what else he would be doing. It doesn't surprise me that like it's not an isolated thing. There's other people, there's employees, there's other customers. You should have told him, was like, hey, that hand you jerk off with is probably pretty strong. Why don't you use that to crack my fucking back? Do your job, you dumb bastard.
And that's the thing. You would think that to get me keep coming back, he would give me what I wanted. Especially that last time, I was like, I don't care. Just do it. I need that release. Because when I had kind of said things up until then, he would keep mentioning, "Oh, we got to break it down. We got to break it down." And something that was really hard for me is I tried with all my might to not give myself an adjustment throughout the day. And I do that multiple times during the day, and it helps. But then eventually it wears off. And then that's why I thought maybe it's a good idea I go back to the chiropractor, because obviously I'm giving myself like temporary relief, but things need to be put back into place. Things need to be back in order and healthy. And I don't know how to do that. I need a professional. So no wonder why I'll do it sometimes like 10, 20 times. I'm not lying, like 10, 20 times a day, cracking myself because I just want the relief. And that's how I know how to do it. So even though the dude ended up being a total creep, even though whatever, I got my confirmation, which makes me, I can move on. I don't blast the dude out there because I've learned to pick and choose my battles. And I don't need to be battling with somebody that their business is right there. And I am so a strong believer in energy. I don't need that ugly energy. What if he sees me walking mini or he sees me driving by or vice versa? I can't. So that's why it's not going to stop. Obviously, it's been going on for a while. There's people out there, he'll get his. I'm not the girl to blow the whistle on it because I've done that in the past, and it's just very draining. And I had to protect myself and my family.
Absolutely. You just never know. Are there? I don't. It doesn't. Chiropractic doesn't seem like a profession where there was a lot of women. I could be wrong, but that definitely
No.
mitigate that problem.
And there's a gal I found at this place. I need to go check it out because it's a whole wellness place, which is even more attractive to me, that they work on not just chiropractic, but it's like and holistic too. They believe in herbs and stuff like that. And what made me say I'm going to check them out is there was a female woman. There was a woman doctor, and she adjusted a woman right in that area, and the crack and everything, you heard it. The lady was like, yes. And so it's like, dude, see? Because I thought the same thing. I was like, there has to be, because it's not just about your strength, because like most chiropractors, it's not like they're these in shape people. It's not like you need a dude to do it. It's knowing how to do it, knowing where to apply the pressures and like the thing. Like it's
Oh yeah. So, anything else you wanted to bring to the bonus content, Shelly, for our wonderful
yes.
subscribers?
Yes.
Very wonderful, by the way.
Yes. Yes, you guys are. See?
There you go.
So there you go. There you go. That's why you pay for the
Impressive.
bonus. So I wanted to talk to you about Burning Man and the whole shenanigans. First, I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you didn't care. Maybe you didn't even pay attention. I don't know.
The main thing I heard was that shit went bad, and there was a lot of rain and mud and whatnot, and a lot of people get stuck. I forget who it was. I heard a story about a celebrity walking. I think it was Chris Rock and somebody else walking like 6 miles to get out of there because the vehicles got stuck. And I saw a story today where like there's still a bunch of vehicles that people are trying to come back and get now. It's dried out sun, trying to get their shit together. But the whole thing sounds awful to me. Even in perfect weather, going out for a week and being with all these people, whatever the fuck they got going on, that's not my thing at all.
From what I understand, it really is a. It has to be your thing, or you just don't go,
Yeah.
kind of thing. The first time I heard about Burning Man was, jeez, it must have been 2008 or 9. I used to date this guy, and he had a friend that lived in the San Francisco area, and he ended up buying his friend's RV from him. And his friend had an RV because he took it to Burning Man every year. And I guess I don't know if he was just not, he got a new one more. I don't know, but yeah, he was getting rid of it, needed the money. I don't know. So it's like, what the hell's Burning Man? And so that's when I first found out about Burning Man. I always knew it wasn't my thing because just because, and I feel like you will totally relate to me on this, just because you're a pothead doesn't mean you're down with like all these different cultures that people kind of lump it in with. For me, yeah, I used to go do the cannabis events and things like that. But that was more because I wanted to get involved because cannabis did so many wonderful things for me. I wanted to help raise awareness. And I found out quick most of those things, at least in the LA area, are just party, which is fine. Like I had fun, but I couldn't. But what made me stop doing them is after a while, it's too many people. They're weird. I was always with Danielle, so two hot girls smoking. It just was a lot. Dudes always trying to pull a fast one. So it's funny because people just assume like I would be down with like a Burning Man, especially because I do my sexy content, so they may have seen me in like sexy outfits and stuff, and it's like, dude, that's for a photo shoot. Like I would not feel comfortable just being all with pasty, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just me. Like, but the people lump me in because maybe they see me in pasty. They think I would go to Burning Man and be like in pasties and a G-string with boots and a face mask and a big old blunt or something. But that is not who I am. Like for content, yeah. But for experience, no. Not 1%. I like to be chilling. I like to be with people I like. I'm even the type of stoner, like, I won't just medicate with anyone. And if I don't like somebody, I won't, even if I want it so bad, I need it. I still won't smoke their joint. Like, I could be throwing up. I'd rather throw up than to smoke with somebody I don't like.
It just, imagine if I had like a really nice RV or something like that. But even then, I mean, there's a lot of variables, a lot of degenerates on a lot of different substances. I mean, they shit your shit on fire, whatever. And then still, you have the problem of what happened this time with the mud and shit. You're still stuck there with all these fucking awful people and various celebrities. Ah, I don't know. I'm like one of those stoners is like I like to smoke outdoors, but when I say smoke outdoors, I mean like on the porch. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a camping person. I've never been a camping person. I've never been, hey, there's a fuck ton of people here type of person. Let's go there. Sounds
Yeah.
awesome. So there's like 70,000 people there or some shit. I'm good.
I feel the same way. That's why a lot of times when I go to concerts and live shows, I typically like to go to bands that hold them in smaller venues, or maybe they're not as well known. That's why they're in a smaller venue. Because I get uncomfortable with all of that. Ever since I was a girl, like even going to the movie theater when I was young, I was like, what if someone came in here and tried to shoot everyone up? And then when life progressed, and that was like a kind of like a normal thing, I was like, see, dude, I knew to like watch out. But the reason why I wanted to bring up Burning Man is because I had a friend that I knew was going to go there because he goes every year. Him and his girlfriend, or I think maybe they're engaged now or something. And I was worried about him because for a while there, it seemed on the internet, it was like, oh, there's Ebola. Oh, there's cannibalism. There's this and that going on. And to be honest with you, I know some people were like, oh my God, cannibalism. But I thought to myself, well, people are on drugs, hard drugs.
Yeah.
And if one person says we're never getting out of here and we have to survive because they're on drugs as well, like the paranoia, I could see crazy stuff happening, not because of anything else, but being out there, rumors, and you're on a bunch of drugs, and it's raining and wet and muddy, like an element that normally doesn't happen there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I could see people being the F up and being like, we're gonna die here because so and so said we're dying here, so we have to eat. Like, so it's, and then on the other end, I was like, this could totally be, here goes my tinfoil hat talk, just to distract. Everything's fine. But at the back of my head, I was worried about my friend. And so I was like, dude, I don't know if he has like service, like what's the deal? I contacted him and he said when I heard from him that it just pretty much was sucky conditions, but they were making the best of it. That's when I knew the internet was just going wild with all these stories.
Hey man, Chris Rock had to walk 6 miles through the mud. Shit was bad.
So what? So did other people. So
Whenever
what?
jokes,
Welcome to life, Chris Rock. When you're not on television or on whatever media, you're in real life. And
I wonder if he was like telling jokes to like keep other people their spirits up. Damn, this is a long fucking walk.
I bet you he wasn't. I bet you he was quiet and he was mad and felt like he needed to get the F out of there because he didn't know what was going to go on. Because people like my friend who go and that's their lifestyle probably don't want Chris Rock there anyways. You're this celebrity that's coming in just so that you can get all effed up and do whatever else you do here because you know you can, which is fine. But at the end of the day, to put it bluntly, you're like a little bitch. You're not going to be out here hacking it with us. We're just going to go through this, wait till everything clears up. Until then, we're just all going to come together and see what's up and try to just get through it and have fun and be on more drugs. So if you can't handle that little Chris Rock, they march your ass out of here with your little friends. Whoever else, some music person that was with them. I don't know if they're a DJ or a singer or something with a D. Dildo or dick, something like that. I don't know.
Diplo.
There it is.
I don't know. I think that's like an electronica person, but I'm not 100% sure. I just know the name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's one of those people that like stands on a stage with like a keyboard and like a fucking laptop and hits some buttons and shit. That'd be a fun.
Plays other people's music and takes credit for it because he's mixing it. One of them.
Those people out there were like saw Chris Rock like, "Hey, bro, I see you're walking through the mud here. Can I get an autograph? I get a selfie."
The other people that were, because here's the thing, from what I understand, the people that go there for like what the intent of it all is, which I'm still kind of unclear on, but whatever. It's like kind of like Coachella. Like there's like, it used to be about one thing and now it's just about like all of these specifically Hollywood douchebag influencers and actors and all this go down over there and they get to play dress up for the weekend. But like the OGs, that's not dress up time, that's their lifestyle. Just like at Burning Man. Like that's even if it's not on their daily, like every year that's their ritual. They go there, they do this thing. Like I just feel people like Chris Rock come across to me. I could be wrong, maybe he's been going for a long time. come across to me like just posers, and they're just there to get effed up and for the debauchery of it all, and that's fine, like whatever. But I feel there's a whole poser end to Burning Man.
I feel like we ever do a festival for this show to celebrate this show, we have like a limit, like 10 or 15 people. That's all that's
Oh
allowed.
yeah, that's it.
Maybe a couple celebrities. Maybe if like Jerry Busey or Doug Benson, RSVP with the Young Bucks. Well, I'll get them.
Absolutely.
We have a special VIP section.
Don't forget about Sean Hernandez.
Yes. He's
I was just thinking about him and how you reached out to him because I saw that the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, were promoting because I follow them. I love those girls. Shout out to them. They'll never see this, but the energy, I love those girls. I love them. And they were promoting that they were like on some special for Impact that was like the 1000th episode or something like that.
yeah.
And so it seemed to me like maybe they were bringing people back for nostalgic reasons, kind of vibes. And it made me think about LAX. And then I just was like, well, how come no one else at LAX? I would have went. And then I started thinking about you and the conversations you had with Sean. And it's just so hilarious. And I guess I was kind of thinking about it yesterday too, because when I was doing my vampire radio, my playlist was dedicated to people I don't like. And I was just thinking about different times. And I was just thinking about my TNA days, and I was just thinking about like where did it go wrong? Because everything was so cool, and it's like when I look back at it, I'm just thinking they just were doing business behind my back. And it's not like they were trying to screw me over. They were just looking out for themselves, it seems, which is fine. Then I started to look after only myself too. So it's just interesting. And so I guess what my point is I never did anything to screw over Homicide or Hernandez. I never did, unless they think screwing them over was quitting without talking to them about it. But they were doing business not talking to me. They weren't caring about my livelihood. That's where the point I was at that. So if that's what they're upset about, what was I supposed to do? You're not my dad. I'm going to call you. Hey, I'm going to quit because they won't let me do this thing. No, you guys don't care. You're having little meetings behind my back. And I was still down to do business with the dudes on the indie level. And we did that one time. But like, that's the common denominator with a lot of people that I have issues with is they talk crap about me openly. So then I call them out to their face privately. They backpedal, talk more crap. And so when I was thinking about you, I was thinking, so I wonder if Sean, if it had nothing to do with being on a podcast, would he still have that conversation with me? Is he thinking, well, how come she just say something to my face? But then I thought, but I did. I got nowhere.
And what was weird about that was like in the beginning he seemed like very down to do it. And then he wasn't so down. And then he finally said, I'm not down at all. I'm not going to do that.
I wonder what the thought process was.
I know.
Like,
I look
what
forward
is
to the day when this show is like really big and famous and I get the chance to turn on you. That'd be fun. I'm going to heel turn hard. It's going to be great. But it won't just be you. It'll be everybody. Everybody in my life. Like, look, I'm fucking famous now. I have riches. I have podcast riches. I don't need
Can't
any
be
people.
bothered. Can't be bothered.
Right. Be forewarned. The fans come up to me in the street. I'm like, fuck you, man. Get away from me. What? An autograph? You're going to sell that shit on eBay. Fuck you.
F. Shelley, that bitch. She never did nothing.
That's right. Oh, shit. Shelly, that was awesome. Thank you again, subscribers. Check us out and tell your friends, man. It's $5. What are you gonna do? There's not most shit you can't buy for $5 anymore. You can't buy a coffee for $5. You can't go to a fucking building and buy a coffee for less than $5. Anywhere.
You don't have $5? You don't have $5? I know you have $5.
That's right. Forego one of those OnlyFans subscriptions where some bitch is like bleaching her butthole or something. Spend it on us. Her butthole will still be bleached. Go back next month if you don't like it.
Well, a little teaser for when we we record this month's show.
Shelly's gonna bleach her butthole.
I'm gonna bleach my butthole. But if you see my little title, it says "You're the savior of weed." I'm a failed wrestler and OnlyFans model, not a failed wrestler, and now I'm only a failed OnlyFans model as well because I quit OnlyFans. So we'll talk all about it when we record our next show.
There you go. Be no
So
more.
be there, be square.
No more bleaching of the butthole on OnlyFans. Shelly.
Well, maybe if I did that, I would have the riches.
Maybe. I think it's an underserved market. Butthole market.
I swear to you, I bet you my OnlyFans would go through the roof if I said I am going to post a video of me bleaching my asshole. I cannot tell you how much money I would make from that one video, but I'm not going to do it. My asshole's my business, and I don't even bleach it. It doesn't need bleaching, I don't think. Oh man, I need to go look.
You should check. It's a good retirement plan. Plan B. We'll call that Plan B.
That's Plan B.
You'll bleach your butthole on OnlyFans.
Plan B. You always got the Plan B, because without a plan, there's no attack. With no attack, there's no victory.
That's right. There you go. Very inspirational finish to the bonus content. Shelly, thank you. And we'll see you later this month.
Alrighty, have a good day. Happy Sunday Fun Day.
Word.